Sent them forth to preach, and to have power to heal sicknesses and to cast out devils. And Simon he surnamed Peter. And James the son of Zebedee, and John the brother of James, and he surnamed them Boanerges, which is the sons of thunder.
Welcome to Bible Minute. I'm Mark. As you can see, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. What you see here is the June Pride Month flag, or symbol, that they have posted on us. And my problem is, we have a whole month of pride, and these people have no clue what's going on and what that really means. But what we really should be celebrating for a whole month is the birth of this nation. So July 4th is most important. So these people have the ability to actually go out and do this dancing and marches and stuff, so that they don't even realize it. So the most important day of our nation's history is given one day, and they give a whole month to pride. Yeah, these people have no clue. They don't understand where they're going. And I know most people go, "Oh, please, Mark, enlighten me." Well, here we go. This goes back to the worship of a god called Dionysus, or Dionysus. In the Roman, he was called Bacchus. And supposedly he was a god that was killed once and then reborn again. So there's a lot of similarities. I could go into this big history, but you can look it up. Anyway, what I need to tell you is, when he came back from the dead, so to speak, and they hid him, they made him a cross-dresser. They dressed him as a woman to hide him from all of his enemies so that he wouldn't be killed again. So what he did was he actually expanded upon this when he got older, and he had these female bodyguards that they had this, I can't remember the name exactly, but they were like his priests at the time, and they were or priestesses, I guess you call them. They would go out, and they were so fierce that they barehandedly could rip apart lions or bears. So and they would have sacrifices, and they'd rip people apart. But anyway, that was his guard, supposedly, that he had. Well, if you look up Dionysus, you will find that he is the god of alcohol, fermentation, the god of do as you please, whatever feels good, ecstasy. He's a little bit of a deceiver and stuff like that, but he is mostly the god of people that cross-dress. And I know you say, well, they don't. Well, here's the thing: you've got to look into this. He didn't have a temple because he traveled around, supposedly. This so-called god, he would travel around, little g. He would travel around without temples, and they would get people, and they would have, I'm trying to be as polite as possible, they would have orgies and stuff like that with sacrificing, and people would dress up as the other sex and cross-dress, and males would pretend to be females. And a lot of them did this in order to become his followers, because he and his followers all dressed as females. And they would go around, and they would put on, for lack of better terms, like little skits and shows to draw people in, talking about drinking the alcohol and talking about poems and stuff like that. And they would put on, like, for lack of a better term, a drag queen show, kind of like what you see on TV that's here and what's going on nowadays. And that was the form of worship that he preferred. So a drag show, and I know there's going to be people go, "Oh, you missed it, you don't have a clue, we're not bowing down, we're not." No, You don't understand. He declared that when you dress as a woman and you do this, you're actually worshiping him. I went up on Reddit and I was reading multiple accounts of people that would say, "Oh, I'm channeling Dionysus," and there's a drag queen named Dionysus or Dionysus. People dressing up like women, and they're doing these shows. There was, I think it was Las Vegas. I looked it up. There was a big show of Dionysus where these drag queens came, and it's all worship. It's all a form of worship. It is worship. They do not realize what they are doing. And that's what I'm trying to show you. That they are worshiping a false god. It is so prevalent that it is on our TV now. You can see this one show called Drag Show. And everybody's like, well, you missed the point. No, I looked up what drag means. I looked it up in the dictionary. It means to move something along forcibly, to force it to move along. So, interesting, like an anchor dragging along the bottom. Well, you say, well, what about drag racing? That's not being forced. Yeah, it is. Because where that came from was the main section through town is usually a straight stretch and had all these traffic lights in it. And these people would pull their cars up there and they would race from stoplight to stoplight or stoplight to a certain location. And when the light turned green, that's how they would do it. And they would drag. They would forcibly go down this street. Even though the speed limits were much lower, they would forcibly go down these streets as a high rate of speed to try and force it. So, yeah. And then I looked up the word queen, and that's insane. I mean, it talks about the multiple definitions it talks about are women that are higher or born into this hierarchy, and they are expected to walk and maintain a standard way above everybody else. So they would dress better than everybody else. They would carry themselves. They were better than. So a drag queen is forcibly making yourself better than everyone else. Now you say, well, that doesn't make... Oh, go back to Dionysus, and you see that what his whole point was, he would take the high people in society, the high-ranking people, and he would bring them down to the low levels. And the low people he would promote up. So it's in his little hierarchy that he had. It was strange. But the thing about it is we're seeing this now. It's becoming more and more and more prevalent as to what's going on. And this is right now what we're going through. I can only liken it to Sodom and Gomorrah. Now everybody says, well, we have the free will. Yes, you can do whatever you want. Because as I showed the picture, this country, we have freedoms. We could do what we want to do. I have problems when you want to get the children involved and force them. I'm going to post a little thing here or here. I don't know where I'm going to post it. I'll show you. They just had a gay pride march or a drag queen march in New York, and they said, we're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. Yes, Fox News. I will put it up there. You can read it yourself. It's a mess. It's a mess. They want to indoctrinate your children to this because they know that they're coming for you, and they know the way to keep this out in front is to indoctrinate the children, and that is sad. It is so sad. But they don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize this whole worship that they're performing. Like I said, when I see a drag show on TV, there's one famous guy, and he is you'd probably know what it's called. It's called drag racing. In New York, they've got one called, or not New York, Canada, they got one called something about the Queen or something, and they have another one in reference to the house of something. Anyway, these are all shows. I don't promote them. I don't want you watching them. What I'm trying to show you is that these people have fallen for these spirits, because we're not battling what we see. We're battling spirits in high places, and this is so wrong. They're channeling. These people are channeling these spirits and these demons, and asking them to come into them so that they can be like this person, and this person gives me power and glory. And some people, I was reading an article about what it means to be a drag queen, and people dress up and they say it helps them relax. Well, part of some of the things that Dionysus, or Bacchus, the Roman version of it, would be, you dress up and just sit around relaxing and taking it easy, and then drinking a lot of wine and alcohol, and that, as you know, loosens your inhibitions. And yeah, okay, enough on that. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that and to show people how wrong that is. I mean, if you don't realize that it is open worship in your face, you need to step back and reevaluate yourself. I mean, look, these people have the right to do that. I don't agree with it, but they don't have the right to force it upon me. They don't have the right to force it in my face and have drag queen story hour at the library. So, yeah, like I say, watch where you put your kids. Protect your kids, because they're coming for them. Like I said, I'll show that Fox News thing in reference to that. I'll picture it in there if I can. But yeah, I got to give them credit for that. And I can't play the video where they're doing it because one lady is not dressed. So I'm not gonna promote anything like that. So, yeah, I'm not in it that way. But anyway, I just want to show everybody how messed up things are, and how we have to be in the end of days with this open worship of these demons and these false deities and stuff. Anyway, I've rambled enough. I'm Mark. This is the Bible Minute. Until we meet again.